What's up everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood VenomousStare, back with another StarCraft video. This time, instead of doing replay analysis or a build order video, we're going to be doing a first-person VOD over a Protoss versus Terran I played. And the map for this game is Arena, which is very similar to the map Scrap Station. It has an exceptionally short rush distance by both ground and air. However, there are a lot of bases and it's not compact. It's chodish, I would say, would be a good way to describe it. Its width and length are very abnormal. So this game I'm going to be showcasing how to play greedy despite Arena favoring aggressive play. So I went gateway and then I took a gas. Notice my probe scout this game as early as well. I see that my Terran opponent has made gas and has made a barracks. This is almost certainly indicative of Reaper Expand. Whenever you dedicate the probe to scouting early, you should always use it to harass your opponent. Remember, one of the core concepts of StarCraft is every time you make an action and force your opponent to react, there is an opportunity that they will make a mistake. So you should always fuck with your opponent when you play StarCraft, even if it seems very small. Notice that I made my Nexus right after my gateway. I did not wait for Cybercore. This is considered greedy, and if I was in lower leagues, I would consider making the Cybercore first. Now, the reason that this is important is because in the early game, the amount of minerals you receive are very low, so what you decide to spend them on is very important, particularly the order in which you decide to spend them. The Nexus costs 400 minerals, which is an exceptionally large amount in the early game, so deciding to put the Nexus down before my Cybercore means that my Mothership Core is delayed and my non-Zealot units are delayed. So I have to be wary of Reaper attacks and any subsequent follow-up attacks. Now this is very important. Notice as soon as my Cybercore finishes, I start a Stalker and my Mothership Core. Now I know because I went Nexus before Cybercore and I'm playing on this very short map, Arena, I'm probably going to take a little bit of damage. If I was just a little bit better, a little bit more crisp, this Mothership Core would be about 10 seconds earlier and I would probably be fine. But as it stands, I lost 2 workers, which is not good. I lost 3 workers, which is really not good. And if this Reaper gets away, I would be on suicide watch, but it didn't. So now I have a Stalker and a Mothership Core. That means that I can scout for free. Both of those units are extremely fast, and there's nothing the Terran can have right now that can chase me down unless he got Marauders with slow, and because he dedicated the gas to a Reaper, the chances of that happening are extremely low. So I'm going to push forward with my Stalker Mothership combo. I don't intend to do any damage here, I just want to make sure my opponent has expanded. Sure enough, he has. I didn't take any hull damage, so now I will take this tower, which is incredibly important on this map, because the tower covers the main attack path. And the path that you need to be most concerned about is this main attack path, because all the other routes that don't involve the air are very long, take a very long time to use. So here's a deviation. I build a Twilight Council here and 2 forges. I want to point out to everyone in lower leagues that this was exceptionally greedy. Now I wanted to prove a point in this video. The point that I wanted to prove was that you could play absurdly greedy, and if you positioned your buildings well, you could still survive. So, if you don't know what greedy means, essentially, despite the fact that I'm playing on Arena, which favors aggressive moves, aka building units and attacking, I'm electing to play a macro style, a greedy style, building three buildings that are heavy gas investments that produce upgrades. The reason that this is considered greedy is because I'm foregoing attacking units to do that. See how I have 3 buildings producing upgrades? This means that I could, instead of having those 3 buildings making upgrades, those could have been gateways, and I could have been making units to hold off this push that I just saw. The reason that I'm doing this upgrade heavy style is once the upgrades finish, I will be at a very heavy advantage. However, making it to that point will be very difficult. So, this is what I mean. This is SimCity. I had 2 pylons placed aggressively in front of my natural where I knew he would push, and as soon as he started to be aggressive, I immediately turned on double cannon, double pylon cannon. I have a significant worker league because of my Nexus first before Cybercore build and my constant production of workers. My second and third gateway have finished, so now I have a chance to defend this attack. My fourth and fifth gateway are on the way, and I have 3 important upgrades being chrono boosted. +1 armor, +1 attack, and my +1 blink which just finished, and charge is also being upgraded, which is an incredibly important upgrade against Terran. Now as you can see, my blink stalkers are positioned at the front of my base because that's where I think he will attack. The other likely choice is he will fly into my main with the medevac. So I don't want to be frugal. I immediately activate the 2 overcharges and I blink away, or I blink into him. I could have microed that better. I should have let him come up the ramp since I had blink and baited him. Now this is bad. He was actually it was a ploy to get me to divert my army because he had a drop going in my main. This is what good players do. They force you to multitask. And if we go to workers lost, he killed quite a few workers. We're about even now because of that drop. That was a good move by him. However, my 1-1 attack is finished, which means I have a very big lead because he just has +1 in stem. If I push up this ramp and with blink and an upgrade advantage, it's very, very hard for his bio to trade because I can almost I can blink back. Watch, whenever a unit gets weak, I try to blink it back. This means that every time I take shield damage, I blink my stalker back. That's the reason I didn't blink those back is because it was on cooldown. But the idea with this blink micro that I'm doing is that whenever one of the stalkers gets low, I blink it back so his units then refocus onto the stalkers with full shields. It's a basic concept. A lot of the things I've explained are very basic, but also whenever you're doing attacks like this that are doing lots of damage, you want to make sure to take a third behind it, because notice this guy has a third. I don't know what he has in his main. If he somehow miraculously holds, I don't want him to have a base advantage, and he leaves. And if we go to the everyone cam, he wasn't macroing appropriately. He wanted to have this third base fly over here and then add his extra barracks. This is one thing that you will see quite often. This guy, you could tell, I think, was counting on that push to do a lot of damage, and when it didn't, he was caught off guard. He intended for his medevac to do severe damage, me to be caught in my base and have a lot of trouble defending it, and he thought he was going to be able to run forward with this army and come in with a medevac. However, the fact that I got an incredibly early Twilight Council and chronoed out Blink allowed me to be prepared for his medevac harass. This meant my subsequent push across the map was unexpected. His macro, it ballooned out of control in a bad way. He failed to add the extra barracks in time, not that it would have been possible because of the rush distance on Arena, but that's why going aggressive upgrades or going early upgrades can be just as powerful as a cheese, because this guy's build was completely countered by what I did, and it was just greedy macro play. So if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, subscribe. Peace out.